All right, get ready to dive in. Today, we're going to really dig deep into how to totally crush that property assistant interview.
Ooh,
We've
yeah.
got a ton of great info from RoleCatcher, like career guides and sample questions and all that good stuff. But here's the thing.
Okay.
We're not just going to feed you the answers. We're going to show you how to come up with your own awesome responses that'll
Yeah.
really make you stand out.
Think of it like we're your interview coaches. We're going to break down those tough questions.
Yeah,
We'll uncover what hiring managers are really looking for and give you some insider tips on how to use RoleCatcher's AI to
yeah,
really get that extra edge, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the questions, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. The career guide paints a pretty clear picture of a property assistant as the glue that holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
You're juggling finances, scheduling, even valuations. It's a dynamic role for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing way to step into the real estate world. You get to see so many different parts of the industry, which can open up some really cool career paths down the road.
Yeah, that's a great point. Speaking of which, the guide did mention potential growth into roles like property coordinator or even analyst.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of upward mobility is definitely something to get excited about. But first things first,
Right.
we got to nail that interview.
Absolutely. And the best way to do that is to practice. So let's dive into some of those common questions.
Okay.
First up, what motivated you to apply for this property assistant role?
Oh, that's a good one.
It seems simple, right?
Yeah,
But there's more to it than meets the eye.
definitely. It's not just about saying, I need a job.
Right.
It's about showing that you're truly passionate about real estate. Maybe you're fascinated by the market dynamics, or maybe you thrive in a fast-paced environment.
Mm.
What about you?
Oh, yeah.
What would make you excited to be a property assistant?
For me, it's the problem-solving aspect.
Oh,
Every day brings a new challenge.
yeah,
Whether it's finding the perfect tenant for a property or, smoothing over a tricky situation, it's
Uh-huh.
kind of like being a real estate detective.
I love that. And don't forget to add in some personal touches to your answer. Did you help a friend find an apartment?
Oh, that's a good one.
Or maybe you're passionate about interior design and love the idea of staging properties.
Yes.
Those little details can make your answer so much more memorable,
They really show that you've thought beyond the job description and genuinely connect with the role.
right?
Now, this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really come in handy.
Oh,
Their system analyzes job postings and picks out those keywords and skills that employers are really looking for.
so you can tailor your answer to highlight those specific qualities,
Oh,
showing that you've done your homework and really understand what they need.
exactly. Okay, let's move on to another common question. What do you consider the most important skills for a property assistant? Now, you might be tempted to just list off a bunch of skills,
Yeah,
but there's a better way.
I'm all ears. What's the secret?
Think STAR method.
Okay,
Situation, task, action, result.
okay.
Choose a skill like organization or communication, and then illustrate it with a real-life example. Maybe you managed a complex project at your previous job,
Yeah.
or you successfully navigated a tricky situation with a client.
So instead of just saying you're organized,
Right.
you're showing them with a concrete example.
Exactly.
It's way more powerful.
It is. It gives the interviewer a glimpse into your work style and how you approach challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, stories stick.
They do. And if you're struggling to come up with examples, RoleCatcher's AI can actually suggest relevant stories from your work history
Wow.
based on the skills needed for the role. It's like having a personal brainstorming buddy.
It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
Now let's tackle a question that can really throw people off. What would you do if a client was unhappy with a rented property? This one is all about showing your problem-solving skills and your ability to stay calm under pressure.
It's like a real-life simulation.
Yeah.
So how do we ace this one?
First, emphasize your empathy. Acknowledge the client's frustration and let them know you're there to help. Then outline a clear plan of action. Would you contact the property owner? Arrange for repairs? Maybe even offer to help them find a more suitable property.
Right.
The key is to show that you're proactive and solution-oriented.
And I bet those follow-up questions could get even more specific. Like, what if the problem is something minor, like a leaky faucet, versus something major, like a broken heating system?
Ooh, that's a good point.
How would your approach differ?
That's a great point. It's about showing you can assess the severity of the situation and prioritize accordingly. For a minor issue, you might offer a quick fix or reassurance.
Right.
But for a major problem, you'd need to escalate it and involve the right people to get it resolved quickly.
And the career guide mentioned that property assistants often work in comfortable modern offices,
Oh, yeah.
but you could also be out and about for viewings, which would
Oh,
be a great point to bring up.
absolutely. It shows you're adaptable and willing to go the extra mile. Now let's shift gears to a question that really probes your organizational skills. How do you prioritize your tasks and manage your time effectively? This is where you get to showcase your inner productivity guru.
And the guide also mentioned that technology is rapidly changing the real estate game, so you'll want to demonstrate some tech savviness too.
Excellent point. So when answering this time management question, weave in those tech skills. Maybe you're a whiz with scheduling apps or have mastered a project management system. This shows you're organized and tech savvy, a winning combination for any modern property assistant.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your resume and suggest relevant tech skills to highlight,
Oh, wow.
ensuring you're showcasing the ones most relevant to the job.
It's like having a personalized tech consultant on your side.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to a question that often trips people up. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and regulations? This is where you demonstrate your commitment to continuous learning.
It's not just about knowing what's happening now, but also anticipating what's coming next. So how do you stay ahead of the curve?
Think beyond the obvious. Mention industry blogs you follow, podcasts you listen to, or even real estate influencers you admire. Maybe you attend local real estate meetups or volunteer with a housing organization.
Huh.
The key is to show you're actively engaged in the industry, not just passively observing it.
And the guide emphasizes the importance of understanding legal regulations. So how do you stay on top of those ever-changing rules?
Oh, that's important.
Do you subscribe to legal newsletters?
Yes,
Attend webinars?
those are great examples.
Yeah.
The more specific you can be, the better.
Right.
It shows you're not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk when it comes to staying informed.
And don't forget about those soft skills that are so crucial for a property assistant.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The guide mentions things like negotiation and persuasion. Those are skills you can't learn from a textbook.
Right. You're constantly negotiating with clients, vendors, even colleagues. It's about finding that sweet spot where everyone feels heard and respected, even if you don't always get your way.
And how do you practice that? Is it all about confidence, or are there specific techniques you can use?
It's a combination of both. Confidence comes from preparation.
Right.
And there are definitely techniques you can learn, like active listening and mirroring body language. But you also need to be genuine and empathetic. People can spot a phony a mile away.
It's about building trust and rapport, which is essential in any client-facing role, especially in real estate.
Yes, very true.
Now let's tackle a question that requires a bit of finesse. How do you handle confidential information? This is all about showcasing your professionalism and trustworthiness.
You're dealing with sensitive data from financial records to personal details, so you need to demonstrate that you understand the gravity of the situation.
And it's not just about saying I'm trustworthy. It's about showcasing specific actions you take to protect that information.
Exactly. Maybe use strong passwords, shred sensitive documents, or avoid discussing client matters in public areas. These small details demonstrate a real commitment to confidentiality.
And what about those tricky situations where you need to share information but only with certain people?
Oh,
How do you navigate those delicate boundaries?
that's where your communication skills come in. You need to be clear and concise about who needs to know what and why, and always err on the side of caution. It's better to over-communicate than risk a breach of confidentiality.
Great advice. Now let's talk about the tech side of things. What experience do you have with property management software? This is where you get to shine if you've got those digital skills.
Even if you haven't used specific software mentioned in the job description, highlight any transferable skills. Maybe you're a spreadsheet ninja or have experience with CRM systems.
Those are valuable skills in any industry, and you can always learn new software on the job. It's more about showing you're adaptable and eager to embrace new technologies.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify those transferable tech skills and highlight them in your resume and cover letter. It's like having a personal tech translator bridging the gap between your experience and the employer's needs.
So whether you're a seasoned tech pro or just starting out, there is always a way to showcase your digital prowess. Okay, let's tackle a scenario-based question. How do you handle a tenant who consistently pays rent late? This one requires a delicate balance of empathy and firmness.
It's about being a problem solver and a diplomat. You want to understand the reasons behind the late payments while also enforcing the terms of the lease agreement.
So it's not about jumping straight to eviction.
Exactly. Start by having an open and honest conversation with the tenant. Maybe they're experiencing financial hardship or there's a miscommunication about due dates. Try to find a solution that works for everyone.
And what if they're just being irresponsible?
Oh,
How do you handle that?
yeah. That's where you need to set clear boundaries and consequences. Maybe you implement late fees or offer a payment plan, but emphasize that consistent late payments are not acceptable. It's about finding that balance between compassion and accountability.
It sounds like a real test of your communication and negotiation skills. Now let's move on to a more practical question. How do you ensure that properties are well maintained and up to date? This is where you showcase your organizational and problem-solving skills.
Think about it like this. You're the guardian of those properties responsible for keeping them in tip-top shape.
So it's not just about fixing things when they break. It's about preventing problems before they even arise.
Exactly. Talk about your proactive approach to maintenance. Do you schedule regular inspections? Create a system for tracking repairs? Maybe you have a network of reliable contractors you can call on.
And what about those unexpected emergencies? How do you handle those?
That's where your quick thinking and problem-solving skills come in. You need to assess the situation, prioritize actions, and communicate effectively with all parties involved. It's about staying calm under pressure and taking charge.
It sounds like the role of a property assistant is never dull. Okay, let's wrap up this section with a question that's sure to come up. How do you handle a difficult client or tenant complaint? This is another opportunity to demonstrate your communication and conflict resolution skills.
It's about staying professional and solution-oriented even when faced with challenging personalities.
So deep breaths and a calm demeanor are key.
Absolutely. Start by actively listening to the complaint, trying to understand the root of the issue. Then offer a sincere apology, even if you're not directly at fault. It's about acknowledging their feelings and showing you care.
And then what's the next step?
Outline a clear plan of action for addressing their concerns. If it's something you can resolve immediately, do so. If not, explain the steps you'll take and provide a realistic time frame.
And what about those situations where you can't meet their demands, even if you wanted to? How do you?
That's where you need to manage expectations and offer alternatives. Maybe you can't provide a full refund, but you can offer a discount or other compensation. It's about finding creative solutions that maintain a positive relationship, even if you can't grant their every wish.
It sounds like the role of a property assistant requires a blend of practical skills and emotional intelligence.
Exactly. It's about being organized, efficient, and tech-savvy, but also empathetic, communicative, and adaptable.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
But don't worry, we've got plenty more to cover. We'll be back in a flash to explore career advancement and how RoleCatcher's AI can help you map out your real estate journey.
Welcome back. So we've talked about some of those tough interview questions you might face.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But now let's think about what happens after you ace that interview and actually land that property assistant job.
Okay.
Where can this role really take you in the long run?
Now that's the exciting part. The RoleCatcher Career Guide lays out some pretty awesome potential career paths.
Right.
It's not just about being an assistant forever.
Right.
You can really climb the ladder.
Exactly. And it's not even just about getting promotions. It's about growing your skills and becoming a well-rounded real estate professional.
Absolutely. The guide specifically mentioned property coordinator as a common next step. What exactly does that role involve?
Think of it like leveling up in terms of organization and responsibility. You'll probably be managing listings, coordinating viewings, and maybe even handling some marketing tasks.
So still pretty hands-on,
Yeah.
but with more leadership and decision-making.
Exactly. You'll be interacting more with agents, clients, and other people in the industry. It's a great way to build your network and really get to know the real estate world.
The guide also mentioned property analyst as a possible path.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds pretty interesting. What skills would you need to be successful in that role?
Well, analytical skills are definitely key. You'll be digging into market trends, crunching numbers, and helping clients make smart investment decisions.
So being comfortable with spreadsheets and data analysis is a must-have.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the technical stuff.
Right.
You also need to be able to communicate those insights to clients in a clear and persuasive way. Remember, you're advising them on big financial decisions, so building trust is really important.
That's a good point. It's like being a real estate detective and a financial advisor all in one.
Exactly. And don't forget about the property manager path.
Oh, right.
That's often seen as the ultimate goal for a lot of people in real estate.
What kind of responsibilities would you have as a property manager?
You'd be overseeing entire properties.
Wow.
Everything from tenant screening and rent collection to maintenance and budget management. It's a very hands-on role with a lot of different aspects.
It sounds challenging, but also super rewarding. You'd be the go-to person for everything related to those properties.
Exactly. You'd be building relationships with tenants, coordinating with contractors, making sure everything runs smoothly. It takes a diverse skill set and a real talent for problem solving.
So starting as a property assistant is kind of like building a foundation for a successful career in real estate management.
Right.
You get exposure to all the different parts of the industry, which can help you figure out what path you want to take.
Exactly. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
Okay.
Their Career Compass tool analyzes your skills and interests
Uh-huh.
and then suggests potential career paths that match your goals.
So it's like having a personal career counselor guiding you and helping you identify the skills you need to develop.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of career planning and helps you make smart decisions about your future. Now let's bring it back to those interview questions and see how they connect to these different career paths.
Okay, good idea.
So let's say you're aiming for a property coordinator role.
Hmm.
What kind of questions should you be prepared to answer? Think about questions that highlight your organizational skills, your ability to multitask, and your experience coordinating events or projects.
So they probably want to hear about specific situations where you demonstrated those skills. Those STAR method answers we talked about earlier would be perfect here.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in becoming a property analyst, be prepared to answer questions about your analytical abilities, your understanding of market trends, and your experience with data analysis software.
They might even throw in some hypothetical scenarios like, how would you advise a client on whether to buy or sell a property in this market?
Exactly. They want to see how you think critically and apply your knowledge to real-life situations. And for those aspiring property managers, be ready to talk about your leadership skills, your experience handling tough situations, and your knowledge of property maintenance and regulations.
They'll probably ask about tenant screening, rent collection, and dealing with tenant complaints too.
Exactly. They want to make sure you can handle people, properties, and finances effectively. Now let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answers to these specific career paths.
Their platform analyzes job postings and figures out the key skills and qualifications that employers are looking for in each role.
Right.
So you can use that information to really highlight the relevant skills and experiences in your resume cover letter and during those interviews.
Exactly.
It's like having a personal career coach who knows exactly what those hiring managers are looking for.
And their AI-powered interview practice tool even gives you feedback on your answers.
Really?
It helps you refine your delivery and build confidence.
It's like having a virtual mock interview where you can practice your responses and get personalized feedback.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. Now let's take a step back and revisit those core skills that are essential for any property assistant, regardless of which career path you choose.
Okay.
The guide emphasized reading comprehension, active listening, judgment, and decision-making, and negotiation as crucial abilities.
Those skills are the foundation for any successful career in real estate. They help you understand complex documents, communicate effectively with clients and colleagues, make sound decisions under pressure, and negotiate win-win outcomes for everyone involved.
And let's not forget about those soft skills.
Right.
Being proactive, taking initiative, being a team player, having a positive attitude, and those all-important negotiation and persuasion skills we discussed earlier.
Those are the qualities that can really set you apart from other candidates and make you a valuable asset to any real estate team.
And as we've talked about, RoleCatcher's AI can help you showcase those skills effectively in your resume, cover letter, and during interviews. It's like having a personal brand manager helping you present yourself in the best possible light.
Okay, so before we wrap up this section, let's leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Right.
Imagine you're building your dream team of real estate professionals.
Okay.
What qualities would you prioritize in a property assistant?
That's a good one.
Think about it as you prepare for your interview and visualize yourself as part of that team. What skills and qualities would make you an indispensable member?
And remember, RoleCatcher is there to help you every step of the way, from creating your resume to acing that interview and launching a successful career in real estate.
It really is a great question to think about.
Yeah.
It forces you to consider what truly makes a property assistant stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, it does. It makes you look at things from the employer's perspective. What are those key qualities that would make someone a truly valuable addition to their team?
Exactly. And it all comes back to those core skills and qualities we've been talking about. Organization, attention to detail, communication, problem-solving, customer service.
And of course, those soft skills can't be overlooked. Being proactive, taking initiative, being a team player, having a positive attitude. And yeah, those negotiation and persuasion skills are so important.
Those are the things that can really make a difference and set you apart from everyone else, especially in a competitive field like real estate.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI can really shine. It's not just about helping you tailor your answers. It can actually give you a sense of the competitive landscape.
Sounds interesting.
It can analyze job postings and figure out what skills are most in demand. It can even give you insights into salary expectations for different roles.
So it's not just about getting the job. It's about knowing your worth and being able to negotiate a fair salary.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, and RoleCatcher gives you the information you need to succeed not just in your job search, but throughout your entire career. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, let's touch on one more crucial aspect of the property assistant role that we haven't really talked about yet: handling finances.
That's a great point. The guide really emphasized the importance of accuracy and attention to detail when it comes to money matters. Everything from collecting rent to managing property budgets.
Oh, absolutely. You're dealing with people's money, so there's no room for error. It takes a lot of responsibility and a meticulous eye for detail.
It's more than just being good at math, though, isn't it?
It is. It's about understanding how financial decisions play out. For instance, if a property needs repairs, you need to think about the cost and how those repairs will affect the overall budget. You have to be able to see the big picture and understand how money decisions impact the property and the clients.
It's a big responsibility, but it's also a fantastic opportunity to learn some valuable financial management skills. Skills that will benefit you no matter what career path you end up on.
Exactly. And as we've seen throughout this deep dive, the RoleCatcher platform gives you so many resources to help you master these skills. They have detailed career guides and AI-powered interview practice tools. It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to thrive in the real estate world.
So to all our listeners who are ready to kickstart their careers as property assistants, remember this. With the right preparation, a positive attitude, and a little help from RoleCatcher, you can achieve your goals and build a fulfilling and successful career in the exciting world of real estate.
And don't forget to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing yourself to be the best property assistant you can be. The real estate industry is full of opportunities for people who are passionate, driven, and eager to learn.
That wraps up our deep dive into the world of property assistance. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck on your job search.